Welcome everybody, Tuesday training, and we have a great talk. Your host, Claudia Borges, and one of our favorite leaders, professional, and doctors in the house, Dr. Rosanna Holt, gastroenterologist. So this is going to be a good one, and don't think that she's going to use these big words. On the contrary, Rosanna comes with a fresh of breath air, just using simple words so that we all understand the science of microbiome. I love microbiome, and you guys are in for a treat. So let's get started. Hi to you can introduce yourself, and then we can start the presentation.
Of course. Good night, everybody. It's my pleasure. It's my honor to be here. And I want to apologize because I think my internet is kind of very loose tonight. So we're going to have interruptions once in a while. If it takes too much, you just raise your hands and let me know that you cannot hear me because
I will.
right.
I will.
Okay, thank you, Claudia. And I have to say thank you. Thank you so much because being over here is an honor. Like I say, it's a love, and the way that you guys help me to keep moving, to keep forward, to keep embracing uh, uh, challenges. Okay, but many of you probably don't know me, and like Claudia says, my name is Rosanna Holt. I'm from the Dominican Republic, and I'm living in United States for more than 20 years now. And I'm living in New Hampshire. It's a very cold area over here, and we are not too far from New Jersey. Well, a little bit far, but we probably have the same temperature. My sister used to tell me that it was warmer over there. And it's very nice to be here tonight. Welcome, everybody. We're going to be, like Claudia says, we're going to use simple words. I'm not one of those doctors that like to be talking all the time in terminology that cannot be understood. I love to talk simple language that people can understand what I'm saying. And today we're going to talk about something that's really, with Claudia and I, we love that. We love to talk about it, but it's so wide, it's so big. It's like every one of the things that we're going through, you can do a presentation only for that. So just hang on, stay there, and we're going to try to do the best we can, but we cannot be so wide explaining in every topic. But we're going to be doing the best, giving you the information that you need today, that you need to listen today. So are we ready to share, Claudia?
We are, and before we share, I just want to make the disclaimer that anything that we say here, it's only for education. We really are going to focus on educating people on the microbiome and what is the science and the meaning and the importance of microbiome. However, so no health questions and things like that at the end. You can ask questions about microbiome, but we won't be recording the questions. We'll see what happens at the end. But if and when this video comes out, please remember that anything we say is educational purposes, and nothing that we say here is meant to treat, diagnose, or cure any disease. And speak about things because she's a doctor. I am not a doctor. I don't intend to be one. I am hosting and just presenting as a person that is an advocate of health, and I really love the topic of microbiome. So please, if you have any disease, illness, or anything, please check with your own doctor before doing anything that we say here in this talk. So with that disclaimer, we can continue, Dr. Rosanna. We are ready to roll.
Thank you so much, Claudia. Very, very assertive. Yeah. So we're going to start there. Let me just. Perfect. And let me know if you can see. Yes.
I can see it, and put it on presentation mode. It's not on presentation mode yet. On the right top, it says present.
on the
So
right top.
besides share, there's a button that says present if you want. See at the top by your picture in mine?
In the top?
Top, right. Yeah, it says
Okay,
present.
okay, I see that. Present. Okay.
And then at the bottom in the purple button, you can say present.
All right.
By the way, is Dr. Rosanna's first Canva presentation, which she's so multitask, like multi-didactic. Like not only does she have time to go and do her job as a doctor, be a for life distributor and a leader, representative, lead a team, do a talk for us tonight, but she also does a presentation in Canva, which she has never done it in Canva before.
Which I love it. Which I love it. It is what I say. I appreciate so much because it's like we learn over here how embrace and how be open to confront challenges. It's fine. We just grow over here. So let me just move this over here. And I put it this way.
You can start. It's not on present mode, but you can start and just do it comfortably in this one.
That way I can see
read the
over here
notes
on the left. Yeah. So yeah, we're going to be talking today something that we love it, and we love it so much because we are 100% connected. Not only because my career, my profession, because Claudia doesn't have it, but Claudia loved that topic too, and it's because when you get to know what is, you cannot separate yourself from it. You probably hear the phrase that you say, you are what you eat. And guess what? This say is pretty accurate, very accurate, considering your gut health has a major impact in your overall health, physical health, immunity, risk for chronic diseases, mental problems, lungs issue, cardiovascular issues. But how those connections are made and what does God has to see with all those issues? So let's start it. So talk a little bit about anatomy, but it's no anatomy class. You guys have been seeing that picture forever when we have the GI tract, and it starts from the mouth and going to the anus. It's just a long tube, but every area has different purpose, different work to do. And it's so important that we know the one of the different parts that we have over here, there is one that's really, really, really important. And actually, some of them are long, can be replaced. They can have some incisions and be shorter. But there is one that's very, very important in our body. And it's as food passes through the GI tract, it mixes with juices, with water, and it's chopping, like I say, mixing, and breaking down all be part of our food that we ingest. But the body then have to do that to absorb, to change those big parts in small pieces that can absorb, it can digest, put it together with the enzymes, and then bring to the area of our intestine when they can be absorbed. That part is the small intestine. That's the part where, from the mouth to the stomach, you are mixing, chopping, moving, and bringing down. But when you get your food and you're in the small intestine, which is the long part that's in the middle over here, and between the square, that's the part that's beautiful. That's the beautiful part that we have, because it's in that area where we absorb all the nutrients and fluids that come together in our food. And it's in that part where the immune system has such a beautiful work to do in our body. And then comes the colon, which the colon is the bigger square part that we have over here. And it's what it does is finishing taking the fluids from the food and start concentrating those parts from the food that doesn't need anymore. And as we start concentrating and make it bolus and make it more hard and harder and harder until it gets to the terminal area where our body in certain moments of the day says, I need to get rid of those, and then go to the bathroom. There is a beautiful video over here. I love videos. I don't know if you like it, but I love it because they can show in very short time what probably took for anybody to say a lot, but the pictures are beautiful and show you how things can be done. So over here, you're going to see how does my digestive system work? How does yours? So we're going to play a little bit over here. Stay with me. Just remember, this is the first time that I use it.
I'll let you know if we can hear it because you may not have pressed share sound. So
yeah, I did.
Not, I have to say, you are amazing.
Thank you, Gloria. All right, let's skip that. That's one of the things that I was trying not to.
I'm not seeing the YouTube yet.
If your dog sleeps with you, this parasite might be sleeping with you as well.
No,
if you have any of these
symptoms.
I'm sorry. Cannot hear?
No, stop 1 second the video. Stop.
Cannot hear you?
Yeah, stop the video 1 second because it's on the same slide. So what I want you to do is how your digestive system works and click on the title. So because you're going to have to open a second window, which is a YouTube window or because we're not seeing it. We're hearing it.
Not
we're not
seeing it?
No, try it again, but click on the title.
All right.
Or you see where it says watch on YouTube. Maybe we can watch it on YouTube and then just come back to the Canva. You see where it says on the black little, where it says how the digestive system works, watch on YouTube. Let me see. Click at the bottom where it says watch on YouTube. Right there on the left bottom. Yeah. No, down.
Right here? That is the one that I opened.
I think that's what. No, go down and you see on the down at the bottom it says watch on YouTube. Right on the same video.
Mm-hmm.
Go down and then to the left.
Okay, right here.
Let me see if it works. Yeah, go ahead, double click.
Okay.
If not, I'm going to. No,
it's not
okay.
doing it.
How about the title on the title? Okay, so
can you see this or no? Oh, because I'm leaving Canva.
I can only see the title. Exactly, because it's still on Canva. Let me stay there. I'll share it and then I'll go back to you.
Okay.
A second. And that way you don't have to take off your Canva. 1 second.
Perfect. Yeah, because that video is very nice.
Yeah, you can keep talking while I get there.
Yeah. So, can you share, because I was sharing. Did you take it back?
No, don't just talk without your share because I'm gonna start playing it. Oh, it's right here. I'm gonna play it, but I just need like 30 seconds. So you can keep talking without.
Perfect. And this is very nice. This is like I said, it's a cute video, short video, doesn't take too long, but explain a very easy way that you will understand how the digestive system works and how, I mean, instead to just say words and words and words, to see a video with animated vision and figures in a video is even better to understand it. Hopefully it doesn't happen with every one of them, because I have a couple videos here. So you
No,
better,
it's because since it's the first time for us, I also didn't see that you had embedded it, and I'm just now,
you embedded?
now I lost it again. 1 second.
Yeah, I did it like that, but because I couldn't, um, I was doing it myself over here. So,
It's okay. We'll get it there. Oh,
you want me to go to YouTube then?
no, I want you to go. Yeah, I want you to go to YouTube because I couldn't help you there.
Claudia,
Okay.
I send you the link on WhatsApp.
You sent me the link to WhatsApp.
Oh, okay.
Thank you, Anita. Can you see it? I don't know if I pressed,
Yes.
Hold on.
I don't know if I pressed, let me see if you can hear it.
I don't see. Oh, yeah, I see it. But we cannot hear. Oh, yes.
Can you hear it?
Yes.
Thank you, Anna.
Across the whole planet, humans eat on average between 1 and 2.7 kilograms of food a day. That's over 365 kilograms a year per person, and more than 28,800 kilograms over the course of a lifetime. And every last scrap makes its way through the digestive system, covering 9 meters and containing over 20 specialized cell types. This is one of the most diverse and complicated systems in the human body. Its parts continuously work in unison to fulfill a singular task, transforming the raw materials of your food into the nutrients and energy that keep you alive. Spanning the entire length of your torso, the digestive system has 4 main components. First, there's the gastrointestinal tract, a twisting channel that transports your food and has an internal surface area of between 30 and 40 square meters, enough to cover half a badminton and liver, a trio of organs that break down food using an array of special juices. Third, the body's enzymes, hormones, nerves, and blood all work together to break down food, modulate the digestive process, and deliver its final products. Finally, there's the mesentery, a large stretch of tissue that supports and positions all your digestive organs in the abdomen, enabling them to do their jobs. The digestive process begins before food even hits your tongue. Anticipating a tasty morsel, glands in your mouth start to pump out saliva. This liquid each day. Once inside your mouth, chewing combines with the sloshing saliva to turn food into a moist lump called the bolus. Enzymes present in the saliva break down any starch. Then your food finds itself at the rim of a 25-centimeter long tube called the esophagus, down which it must plunge to reach the stomach. Nerves in the surrounding esophageal tissue sense the bolus's presence and trigger peristalsis, a series of defined muscular contractions. That propels the food into the stomach, where it's left at the mercy of the muscular stomach walls, which hormones secreted by cells in the lining trigger the release of acids and enzyme-rich juices from the stomach wall that start to dissolve the food and break down its proteins. These hormones also alert the pancreas, liver, and gallbladder to produce digestive juices and transfer bile, a yellowish-green liquid that digests fat, in preparation for the next stage. After 3 hours inside the stomach, the once shapely bolus is now a frothy liquid called chyme, and it's ready to move into the small intestine. The liver sends bile to the gallbladder, which secretes it into the It dissolves the fats floating in the slurry of chyme so they can be easily digested by the pancreatic and intestinal juices that have leached onto the scene. These enzyme-rich juices break the fat molecules down into fatty acids and glycerol for easier absorption into the body. The enzymes also carry out the final deconstruction of proteins into amino acids and carbohydrates into glucose. This happens in the small intestine's lower regions, the jejunum and ileum, which are coated in millions of tiny projections called villi. Maximize molecule absorption and transference into the bloodstream. The blood takes them on the final leg of their journey to feed the body's organs and tissues. But it's not over quite yet. Leftover fiber, water, and dead cells sloughed off during digestion make it into the large intestine, also known as the colon. The body drains out most of the remaining fluid through the intestinal wall. What's left is a soft mass called stool. The colon squeezes this byproduct into a pouch called the rectum, where nerves sense it expanding and tell the body when it's time to expel the waste. The byproducts of digestion exit through the anus. In 30 and 40 hours is finally complete. TED-Ed is a nonprofit. If you value our work, please consider.
Okay. So we're back with you. You can start sharing, Doctor.
Okay.
You can just take it back.
All right. Okay. Back. We back, right?
You're back.
Right. So after see that video, now we know how system work and work beautifully. It doesn't look like it have no problem at all. However, when we go to this part, we're gonna see that there is, like I said before, in the small system, in the small bowel. We call it small because it's inside, but it's really long. We have over there something that's really very, very, very important. And this big number this is over there is going to tell you what is 70% of our immune system is located in that part of our intestine. And the immunity in the gut begins with a single layer. Can you believe it? A single layer of intestinal epithelial cells. They are in direct contact with whatever we put in the system. And that's what I call the big avenue, because from the mouth to the anus, we have a big, big avenue that come in contact with whatever we put in that avenue. It come in contact with our body. Scientific has found the evidence that a certain gut microbiome, and you're going to hear that word from here on, can trigger autoimmune diseases, which is classified as one of them in where the immune system makes antibodies or make substances. They attack our own body, and that is not pretty. I like over here the comment this professor said, and he's professor of the University of Oslo, Norway. And he says, if you want to boost your immunity, look to the gut. You can really do something with your microbiome. You can change it, perhaps treat it. So if you have a disease with no treatment, there is a good time, it's a good place to look for. Because today's day, we know that our gut is related to every part of our body through the microbiome. And let's go to the next image, where we have over here diseases. They are auto diseases, and they are related in different ways with the microbiome. Many of them is for the imbalance that we have over there. And I'm not going to describe every one of them, but can you believe it? We have even diabetics related to the microbiome, to unbalanced microbiome, and that affects your body, how you deal with your insulin, and that's why we get that kind of the diseases. A disease, they affect your whole body, from your brain, eyes, nerve system, and every one of them, kidneys. We also have colitis, psoriasis, arthritis, Crohn's disease, multiple sclerosis. All of them are caused because in one way or another, there is an imbalance in the gut that we have, in the microbiome that we have in our gut. And it's, well, so now we're going to the next slide where we're going to talk about the microbiome. We have been mentioning, and maybe Claudia, if you want to say anything before I go into the whole thing over here, this is a good moment for you. I know you love the microbiome.
Yes, and like I said, I'll just put it in simple words, in the way that I was taught, which was, almost like for a kindergarten child, I'd say. So microbiome is very easy to understand. I want everybody to look at a fishbowl, because everybody has looked at a fishbowl, right? Like one of those, not the ones that are small, but visualize those that are with seawater or salty water. There's a lot of colors, fish, and you can't just put fish. You actually have to give them some different environment, like little plants and things. And so you buy that at the store, and you start creating an environment. Okay, I want you to put the second picture in your mind: a jungle. So in the jungle, there's not only trees, right? There's also animals, and there's not only lions or panthers, like felines. There's also lots of insects and lots of other kinds of fauna. Microbiome is exactly that. Your bacteria that Dr. Rosana is going to talk about in a minute, it actually lives in an environment where they need each other, just like the coral reefs in the ocean or like the jungles. They have this perfect balance. And so the microbiome is exactly that. Visualize that, but with lots and lots of bacteria. So it is said that we are more bacteria than human. We're more bacteria than cells, if you come to think of it. So it's just a beautiful way of looking at it, because it's color. If we could give to each of the bacteria, would be more colorful than we wouldn't even be able to count the amount of colors that we have. There's some good pictures on that on internet. So I think I just want to start with that. I can continue contributing, just like I said, with some simple pictures that have helped me understand microbiome. But now I'll pass it back to Dr. Rosana, and then I'll keep giving you guys some examples.
Thank you. And it's so simple. And you did a really good with that example. It's exactly that. We have a jungle. And we have to be in balance. We have to be, it's like we came to share within. Just imagine in this body that you have, I don't know how tall you are, but I'm very short. And in this body, I have to live with all those cells that they are in me and with me for the rest of my life, for the whole time since we're born, because we got those since we are in the belly, in the mom's womb. So we are, this is so beautiful when we understand that that's who we are. We're going to be healthier. Because what we need to do is be in balance, be happy with that organ, which is called organ, because so many cells, bacteria, viruses, fungus in our body, they is part of us. And when we understand that, we're going to be healthier, a lot healthier. And how I can say, the gut microbiome, like she explained, is the most important scientific discovery for human health. Because today's day, we understand that every part of our body is a surrender, and it has a living things in it. and that those are bacteria. We try to be so out bacteria, but we need them. We need them in your house. You need the best. You know what's the best way for kids to get that? Get on the mat, get with dogs. They share with things. They have microbiome. That way we make it strong, our microbiome too. You got if we put all your microbiome together, it's about it weighs more than your brain. Let's put it that way. It weighs more than your brain. And when we have a diet that has what we need to support the microbiome, we are healthy. Suppose we should have at least a day 30 grams of fiber. And with this diet that we have today, full in processed food, low fiber, and rich in sugars, and et cetera, suppose we get the 10 to 15 grams, half of the amount that we should have. And when you, the more I explain over here, the more you're going to see the balance comes with the food that you put in your mouth, with the food that you put in your belly. And over here, you can see several things that I mentioned, that way we understand. Like Claudia said, we have more bacteria in our body than cells, than human cells. And like I said, begins when you from your mom's womb. And before, we used to say we were in a sterile camp. Well, today we know that we have bacteria there too, but they are no harm for the baby. And as soon as you're born, you start getting in contact. Depends where you're born, how you're born, that creates different microbiome in your body. If you come with natural birth or you come through C-section, it's different contact with microbiome that you're going to have. If you're born in your house or you're born in this medical center, you're going to have different microbiome too. Also, if you were in NICU, if you were in intensive care, you as a baby, someone that went straight home with mom, is also different. So microbiome is changed with contact with our environment, really, really easy. And diversity is affected also by the food, how I say. But also the microbiome has so much support in many parts of our life, like in the body response, inflammatory response, and the homeostasis, which is the balance in the cells in and out, and the development of the cells in every part of our body. Also in the enteric nerves, which is the nerves that are part of the gut system, is part. Can you believe it? That our microbiome is part of that. And not only that, support or also the growing, the formation of and how I say the basis for where the bloods go, arteries and veins, also support the formation and digestion and fat metabolism and glucose metabolism, which we know how important is that, because we have today so many people with diabetes. And knowing if we start taking care for the microbiome, we probably gonna be getting in those diseases. Also, we know today that there is a beautiful connection in between the gut and the brain, a connection that is also physical, but also is through hormones and other substances that help our body to function better. And today, we also know that there is a connection in between lungs and axis, because lung has also the microbiome for the lungs, and they communicate with the brain through that microbiome, and that changed the situations many times in between them, and also in between the heart and the gut. And many diseases from the cardiovascular system comes for that connection there is in between the microbiome from the gut to the heart and to the brain. So it's a very wide topic that we just can mention it. And I don't know, Claudia, I have a beautiful video over here too. I don't know if that's gonna happen.
Yeah, I have it ready. I have it ready.
Yeah,
Thank you to
beautiful
Anna.
woman.
Yeah, I'm just gonna stop your share for 1 second and share here. Just to that.
It's so good. Thank you.
I have to thank Anna. She's part of today's team.
Microbiome affects a lot of how we experience our daily lives.
Can you hear it?
Yeah, just make it bigger.
Weight, brain functioning, even our food choices. But how does it work? The gut microbiome is a collection of trillions of microbes, or microscopic organisms. These microbes, like bacteria and fungi, live in your digestive tract.
Sorry, but you are not sharing the screen of the video.
Thank you. Okay, something happened. 1 second.
Emotions,
stop that
weight.
share. Thank you, Anna. Let me see.
The gut microbiome is a collection of trillions of microbes, or microscopic organisms. These
I have been putting a
digestive
challenge
tract,
you to.
Digestion is just your body taking raw materials, food, and turning it into something it can use.
Nice crust.
Digestion makes glucose.
Oops. Can you see my screen and the video in small form?
Yeah, but you.
Okay.
Yes. That make it the whole screen.
Why do I have a double? 1 second. Something's happening. 3, 2, 1. Okay. I had to do it again because there was a feedback. I had it probably twice. Oh, okay. Okay. Can you see my screen? Anna?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Just make it for the whole screen.
Why do I have feedback coming from you?
Research shows that the gut
you hear it?
microbiome affects
Yes,
a lot
just
of how
make
we
it
experience
bigger.
our daily lives.
Yeah.
Emotions, weight, brain functioning, even our food choices. But how does it work? The gut microbiome is a collection of trillions of microbes, or microscopic organisms. These microbes, like bacteria and fungi, live in your digestive. Digestion is just your body taking raw materials, food, and turning it into something it can use.
Nice crust.
Digestion makes glucose, which runs your brain and muscles. It also enables your body's messengers like hormones and neurotransmitters. Your digestive system is a factory for turning food into fuel, and your microbes are its workers. And what you get out of it depends a lot on the quality of what you put into it. Gut microbes have their own genes, which affect the way your human genes act. There are about 20 to 25. Sounds like a lot, but there are millions of different microbe genes inside of you that influence how your human genes act. In some studies, the microbiomes of healthy mice were transplanted into stressed mice. The stressed mice then showed fewer anxiety symptoms. Fruit flies with particular bacterial species in their microbiomes ate more protein. When researchers changed the flies' microbiomes, the flies ate more sugar. In one study, researchers found that many elite athletes have a group of bacteria and recovery. When these bacteria were transplanted into mice, the mice's treadmill performance increased. And this is all great news, because you can't change your genes, but you can change your microbiome for the better. And one of the quickest ways to do that is through food. There are immeasurable other factors that influence your gut microbiome: where you live, sleep, exercise, stress. But what your body makes and what kind of microbes your gut has depend a lot on the food you eat. You can change your microbiome and long-term health through food. Recent technology makes it possible to test your gut microbiome at home to get a peek at what's living inside you. But is gut microbiome testing worth it? In the next episode, we'll take a look. For the Washington Post.
I love that video. Okay, very good. And I'm just going to stop my share. And Dr. Rosanna, I do want to tell everybody we have 10 minutes and we're still like halfway. So if you have to leave, feel free to go. But I don't want to rush Dr. Rosanna. So it might take us a little longer today. We are going into a deeper kind
I'm gonna move faster now.
but we might say a little longer. Okay, go.
Don't worry, I'm gonna move faster.
Don't move
Can you hear
faster.
me?
No, I'm not rushing you. I'm just making sure that people don't feel like bad if they have to leave, but I don't want you to go faster. We want to make sure that we learn from you, okay?
Okay, thank you so much. And I'm sorry for the videos. I thought that I did it right, but I'm glad that you told it. That's the first time they use Canva.
It's great. And I want to thank you for doing it in such a beautiful way, beautiful pictures. And thank you, Anna, because she...
Yeah, thank you, Anna. Yeah. And then...
just go at your pace. Don't rush.
All right, thank you. Thank you. I mentioned before that we have a very strong connection in between the gut and the brain. And it's a beautiful connection because it's not only physical, but also for hormones. They help us a lot. And the more you understand, the more you get to know your body, you love it more, because it's a perfect creation. And the gut-brain axis is a term for the communication, like it's a network. It connects your gut and your brain. Those two organs are connected both physically and biochemically in a number of different ways, but this is not a waste. It has a perfect purpose. And the vagus nerve is one of the longest and a stronger nerve that we have in the body. And the nerve system neurons are called found in the brain and central nervous system. We have a central nervous system and peripheral nervous system, and that tells your body how to behave. That is the nerve that goes directly from the brain through your gut. And there are many 100 billions of neurons that connect the brain with our gut. And this nerve, the vagus nerve, is one of the biggest nerves, like I said, connecting your gut and your brain. It sends signals in both directions, from the brain to the gut and from the gut to the brain. This is a very tight connection in both directions. Your gut and your brain are connected through chemicals, and they call transmitter, neurotransmitter. And that is such a beautiful thing in that connection, because those neurotransmitters help your body in such a way the pharmaceuticals try to mimic those things. And one of them, the neurotransmitter that we have, is the serotonin. The serotonin is the happy hormones. And I think it's about almost 100% come from the gut. And it's unbelievable how we have in our gut what can make us happy. But nobody tell us that we have that there. If we take care for our gut, if we take care for what we eat, and we take care for the microbiome, we're gonna be happy. There is another hormone, another neurotransmitter that our body work with that, and it's they call GABA, which is GABA, and that controls the fear in the anxiety. Can you imagine that you have all what you need is in your body? If you train your body to listen your gut, like we used to say, listen your gut, then you're going to be having exactly what you need. And we have also production of short chains, fatty acids can feed our brain and help us to be calm. It's unbelievable that we have everything that we need. I don't know if you have that video. Because that video was only short. I can go over here. Let me see if I can get it.
Giants has a big story to tell. Find out more at Giants.com.
Yeah, give me a second. All right,
2000.
I'm gonna stop sharing and I'm gonna share it again.
Share sound.
Yeah, and share sound. Can you see?
1 second, it's coming up. You can play.
Yeah.
Press play.
It's my internet, it's slow.
Okay.
Can you see? Can you see it?
4. A study was done involving 2 groups
No?
of mice.
Perfect,
One of these
perfect.
groups had the germs in their
is
stomach
good?
artificially removed, while the other
It's good.
Okay.
had theirs left intact. Both groups were wired up and then exposed to a stressful experience. What they found that was while both groups responded to the stressor, the germ-free mice had a measurably exaggerated response. This sparked interest in a concept called the gut-brain axis. The idea that the microbes in your intestines vastly affect the way your brain and nervous system function. The link had previously not been made, but the next question was, of course, could this have an application for humans? It turns out it does, in a big way. There is in fact a war going on in your gut. The so-called good bacteria are pitted against the so-called bad bacteria. Now, who's winning this fight is of great importance to you. These bacteria can affect everything from mood to obesity levels. Both bacteria control important levers in the enteric nervous system, which in turn cause chemical cascades that affect all parts of your body, right up to your brain. An overabundance of the bad guys, for example, causes an imbalance that results in some very common psychological problems. While the good guys, on the other hand, can help keep us relaxed, they do this by releasing GABA and stimulating the vagus nerve, amongst other things. This collective of gut bacteria is known as the microbiome. They live inside you, in symbiosis. You need them, and they need you. But just like you, they need to be fed in the right way. This brings us to a fact that has been known by most cultures for at least thousands of years, that what you eat shapes who you are. The food you put into your gut encourages the growth of one of these kinds of bacteria, and that in turn affects all the aforementioned things. Given these advances, scientists have identified certain foods that encourage the good guy bacteria, and they call them probiotics. Now you might think this is a scientific breakthrough. Well, not quite. These have been known for literally thousands of years by the Roman, the Vedic, and the Chinese cultures to 7,000 to 8,000 years ago, men of the Thracian culture, a warrior race, drank sour milk before going to battle. Marco Polo, the explorer, hailed the magical qualities of an ancient drink known as kefir. And one version of the Bible even says Abraham, a patriarch of Judaism, owed his long life to the consumption of sour milk. I say all this only to prove that this is not new knowledge, but medical science can be slow to catch up. Remarkably, many health professionals don't make much of this connection. Could this issue be an elephant in the room in mental health? Rates of mental illness are on an all-time high. About 9% of people are on antidepressants in the UK. In the USA, the figure is over 10%. There are now more than 50 million prescriptions of antidepressants in the UK in a year. And when these diagnoses and prescriptions are made, diet is usually not part of the protocol. This not only ignores our ancestral knowledge, it actually is unscientific. The nervous system, like any organ, is highly sensitive to the environmental and is absolutely shaped by what you eat. The probiotics of yesteryear have been removed from the modern diet in favor of other foods, and no prizes for guessing the kind of bacteria they encourage. Could this be one of the major factors in the mental health epidemic we see in the Western world?
Well, we can see that we have the power. We have the power to decide what we're going to do. Are we going to keep feeding with junk, or are we going to take what we need to take? All right. It's time that we move on and understand that we are in control, that we can have what we need. And this is just a little picture that I tried to put over there, just showing the connection that we have with our cardiovascular system, and also the connection the lungs is directly with the microbiome. So we are in control if we pay attention what we eat. So here we are. We need to have steps to maintain our gut health and take a decision. Overall, taking a decision to do that is just training, because so you know what happened when you feed your gut or your microbiome with certain food, and you think you are doing this just for pleasure. You know what happened? Your microbiome start being unbalanced and grow, some of them more than the another. And what happened with those that grow, you know what they're going to say? Then they tell you what to eat and when to eat. So according to what you put in your gut, it's exactly what your gut is going to ask you for. So saying that, we're going to the next level where we're going to say the lifestyle. Lifestyle is the one. Start a lifestyle. They change, no, just little things, just making little changes. It's going to bring you to a big changes later. Just modify little by little, but it's a mixed actions that's going to bring you to there. It's not only one thing. You need to be in a healthy lifestyle. And what's the main thing? The food, healthy food. You choose the food, and you're going to choose food that has more fiber than anything else. But we also could hear in the explanation, one of the videos, they talk about probiotics. And the probiotics, we have not only way they obtain good probiotics, but also there are probiotics that you can even make in your own home. Like there is a lot of people making kombucha at home, and they make it themselves. Kimchi, you can find it anywhere. Miso, in the other one, that I don't know how to mention that. Kefir, those are probiotics. And for many of you, many of us are using probiotics. They are really, really unique, which not only give us the probiotic, but also give us what we need to have the immune system in the best condition. I don't know if everyone over here knows about those supplements, but those are part of the supplements that we use to provide our body with probiotic. And to continue over here, we're going to doesn't go there. It's going back over here. A balanced diet is the key. It's the key. If you don't know how much you're going to eat about everything, over here you have a nice picture that tells you about how you can divide your plate in certain portions where you have more protein, more fruits and vegetables than anything else. The other part that you have over here is fiber-rich carbs, and the protein and the fats, good fats. That's the way that we can divide our plate, just in a simple way that we can get to know how we can provide our body with the best food that we need. And for those that want to know, I just throw this explanation. This slides over here that explains a little bit the techniques and approaches, updated, the companies are doing it. And they can tell us exactly what we have in our gut, in our body. That way we know, including, or today they are individualizing treatment because according to what microbiome is the prevalence in your body. And this is one of the tests they are doing. The omics technologies are applying to determine a specific disease markers, novel diagnosis target, functional alterations of several diseases, and relationship between microbiome and the host and you. So those are totally modern approaches that today they are taking. The greenhouse too, what they do is using data they used before. They call 16S. Sorry, I'm mentioning that kind of the numbers. Don't you worry about that. But they are using like an old technique and they are using another new technique. And from there, the old technique were working with the RNA, which is another part of the DNA. But with this new technique, they are working not only with that, they are working directly with the ADN from the organism that we have in our body. They can focus a lot more in our treatment and get the markers for diseases that we can have. But also there is another one, and this is very recent, is the IBM research in the University in San Diego, California, has announced a multi-year commitment to the new AI, artificial intelligence. This will bring together technology and cognitive and life sciences to promote critical research in two thematic areas: aging and human microbiome. Can you believe it? We have it all today. The microbiome is giving us everything that we need if we take care for it. So with that said, I think we get done. Thank you so much, Claudia. Thanks everybody for being so patient. And I promise you next time I'm gonna be already using better the technology.
You did fantastic. What are you talking about? You're supposed to be a doctor, not a social media expert. You do too much. Okay, you can stop the share so I can go back to see your beautiful smile.
Okay.
Just finish up here and see if we have any questions about microbiome. So Omar had a great question, but he did answer the question. And didn't she do a great job? I want everybody to just give her big hearts and applause. And we just have so much about this topic. We said it before, it would take forever to just even talk about it. I don't have anything else to add just because it's late, and we can bring it again. Maybe Rosanna and I will do another health talk. That's some of the things that we want to continue bringing that gives value to the English. And so if you do have questions, we always have our chat. It's our official English chat. You can write in there questions that you have, comments, things that maybe you were opened up to but didn't understand, and you can read aloud. I invite everybody. So the only note I do have, which is when I started getting very interesting, was the Human Microbiome Project. So this is what really amazes me. That's why I said to Rosanna, isn't it great that people are only starting to become interested in this topic? So here's the thing. The Human from 2007 and to 2016, they started really focusing on doing the microbiome testing, to put it in other words. So what Dr. Rosanna put on that third video, just seeing what it was happening. So the study of the microbiome has been there since the 1800s, but the actual study that started it all, to put it in other words, is just that one, the Human Microbiome Project. So if you read on that, you will understand a lot of what is happening, because they are gathering the information. And that's why that one of the videos said, should you do a microbiome test? and it doesn't a lot right now just because there's not a lot of information out there. And so what you want to do is get your test. It's $100 or $150, depending on the company. You can just do a microbiome test and do it, because what it is doing, it's helping. I mean, it gave me that I have a lot of these and a lot of that, but then, it doesn't make a difference